1. On December 31st, a company has earned $4,500 in service revenue that has not been billed or recorded. What is the correct adjusting entry? A. Debit cash $4,500, credit service revenue $4,500. B. Debit accounts receivable $4,500, credit service revenue $4,500. C. Debit service revenue $4,500, credit accounts receivable $4,500. D. Debit unearned revenue $4,500, credit service revenue $4,500. 2. A company pays $3,600 on September 1st for a one-year insurance policy. At December 31st, what amount should be reported as prepaid insurance on the balance sheet? A. $3,600. B. $2,400. C. $1,200. D. $300. 3. Which of the following best describes the purpose of adjusting entries? A. To record cash transactions that occurred during the period. B. To ensure revenues and expenses are recognized in the period they are earned or incurred. C. To correct errors made during the recording process. D. To close temporary accounts at year-end. 4. On November 1st, a company received $12,000 in advance for services to be provided evenly over the next 12 months. The entry to record this receipt debited cash and credited unearned revenue. What adjusting entry is required on December 31? A. Debit unearned revenue $2,000, credit service revenue $2,000. B. Debit service revenue $2,000, credit unearned revenue $2,000. C. Debit unearned revenue $10,000, credit service revenue $10,000. D. Debit cash $2,000, credit service revenue $2,000. 5. A company's employees earn $8,000 per week, payable every Friday. December 31st falls on a Wednesday. What adjusting entry is required? A. Debit wages expense $4,800, credit wages payable $4,800. B. Debit wages expense $3,200, credit wages payable $3,200. C. Debit wages payable $4,800, credit wages expense $4,800. D. Debit wages expense $8,000, credit wages payable $8,000. 6. Which account would not typically require an adjusting entry at the end of an accounting period? A. Prepaid rent. B. Accounts payable. C. Accumulated depreciation. D. Unearned revenue. 7. A machine is purchased for $50,000 with an estimated useful life of 10 years and a salvage value of $5,000. Using straight-line depreciation, what is the annual depreciation expense? A. $5,000. B. $4,500. C. $5,500. D. $4,000. 8. Equipment costing $80,000 with accumulated depreciation of $32,000 is sold for $55,000. What is the result of this transaction? A. Gain of $7,000. B. Loss of $7,000. C. Gain of $23,000. D. Loss of $25,000. 9. Under the double declining balance method, a $60,000 asset with a 5-year useful life and $6,000 salvage value would have first-year depreciation of A. $10,800, B. $12,000, C. $24,000, $21,600. 10. Which depreciation method results in higher depreciation expense in the early years of an asset's life? A. Straight-line method. B. Units of production method. C. Double declining balance method. D. All methods produce equal depreciation. 11. A company uses the units of production method for a machine costing $100,000 with a $10,000 salvage value. The machine is expected to produce 180,000 units over its useful life. In year 1, it produces 25,000 units. What is the depreciation expense for year 1? A. $12,500. $13,889. C. $25,000. D. $11. 12. Accumulated depreciation is classified as which type of account? A. Asset account. B. Contra asset account. C. Expense account. D. Liability account. 13. An employee has gross earnings of $5,000. Social Security tax is 6.2%, Medicare tax is 1.45%, federal income tax withheld is $600, and state income tax withheld is $150. What is the employee's net pay? $3,067.50. B. $4,250. C. $3,250. D. $4,867. 14. Which of the following taxes is paid by both the employer and employee? A. Federal unemployment tax. B. State unemployment tax, Utah. C. Federal income tax. D. Social Security and Medicare taxes. 15. An employer's payroll tax expense includes all of the following except A. FICA taxes, employer's portion. B. Federal unemployment tax. C. State unemployment tax. D. Employee federal income tax withholding. 16. The current Social Security wage base limit for 2024 is $168,600. An employee has earned $165,000 year to date and earns $8,000 this pay period. How much Social Security tax should be withheld from this paycheck? A. $496. B. $223.20. C. $0. D. $310. 17. Which form does an employee complete to indicate federal income tax withholding allowances? Form W-2, B-4, C. Form 941, D. Form 1099. 18. An employer must deposit federal payroll taxes using which method when accumulated taxes exceed $100,000? A. Monthly depositor rules. B. Semi-weekly depositor rules. C. Next banking day rule. D. Quarterly depositor rules. 19. The Form 941 is filed annually. B. Quarterly. Monthly. Semi-annually. 20. A company uses the FIFO inventory method. Beginning inventory is 100 units at $10 each. Purchases during the period were 200 units at $12 each. If 180 units were sold, what is the cost of goods sold? A. $960. B. $1,800. C. $260. D. with $880. 21. Which inventory costing method assigns the most recent cost to cost of goods sold during periods of rising prices? A. F. I. F. O. B. L. I. F. O. C. Weighted average. D. Specific identification. 22. A physical inventory count reveals $45,000 of inventory on hand. The perpetual inventory records show $48,000. The adjusting entry should include A. Debit inventory $3,000, credit cost of goods sold $3,000. B. Debit cost of goods sold $3,000, credit inventory $3,000. C. Debit inventory shortage $3,000, credit cash $3,000. D. Debit purchases $3,000, credit inventory $3,000. 23. Under the lower of cost or net realizable value rule, inventory with a cost of $25,000 and a net realizable value of $22,000 should be reported at A. $25,000, B. $22,000, C. $23,500, D. $3,000. 24. Which inventory system updates the inventory account only at the end of the accounting period? A. Perpetual inventory system. Periodic inventory system. C. Just-in-time system. D. F. I. F. O. system. 25. A company has beginning inventory of 30,000, purchases of 120,000, and ending inventory of 35,000. What is the cost of goods sold? A. $115,000. B. $125,000. C. $150,000. D. $85,000. 26. Which of the following is not a component of internal control according to COSO? A. Control environment. B. Risk assessment. C. External audit procedures. D. Monitoring activities. 27. The principle of separation of duties requires that A. All employees be bonded. B. Different individuals authorize, record, and maintain custody of assets. C. All transactions be approved by management. D. Physical inventories be taken annually. 28. A petty cash fund is established with a $500 balance. Petty cash receipts total $423 and cash remaining is $72. The journal entry to replenish the fund should include A. Debit cash short and over $5, credit cash $423. B. Debit petty cash $400, credit cash $423s. C. Debit various expense accounts $423, debit cash short and over $5, credit cash $428. D. Debit various expense accounts for $428, credit cash $428. 29. Which internal control procedure involves comparing recorded amounts with existing assets? A. Separation of duties. B. Authorization procedures. C. Independent verification. D. Physical controls. 30. A bank reconciliation is an example of which type of internal control? A. Preventive control. B. Detective control. C. Corrective control. D. Directive control. 31. A $2,400 payment for supplies was incorrectly debited to equipment. The correcting entry should include A. Debit supplies $2,400, credit equipment $2,400. B. Debit equipment $2,400, credit supplies $2,400. C. Debit supplies $2,400, credit cash $2,400. D. Debit cash $2,400, credit equipment $2,400.